Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brad Ederstrom, also known as Bradu, and it is February 24th of 28 days later. No, this has nothing to do with Sandra Bullock. You're thinking of a film with a different name. It also has nothing to do with zombies, except I did draw a zombie this month. My version of 28 days later is 28 days in a row, which is how many days there are in February, of drawing at least one sketch card every day. Unfortunately, yesterday I did the bare minimum and did my one sketch card, which means I've got a busy night ahead of me. I have one Topps baseball sketch card left to do, and then I also have a handful that I still need to do the backgrounds and stuff, so I got to do that. I just figured it might be better to do the people in the stands. It's all going to be kind of a similar style, so I figured kind of do an assembly line so that they tie in together rather than doing each one as I draw that card. So anyway, yeah, I got my work cut out for me, and I've got to scan them all and get them ready to ship out and get a couple other things ready to ship out. So this is actually my second take on this video. I knew I'd be busy, so I was trying to save time by shooting my little video in the car. And then I took one look at it, and it's like you can't really hear me because of all the crashes. No, I'm just kidding. My blinker is really loud, louder than my voice apparently. Anyway, so where does that leave me? With a busy night. I also got some fairly big news today, art related, both good and bad, maybe bad, I don't know. The good news first. I heard back from Topps about the first wave of sketch cards I sent in for this set, and I sent 10 in already, and 9 of them were chosen to be reprinted for the set. It doesn't mean that all of the one-on-ones will be in the set, but 9 of them are actually going to be part of the Canvas collection set, which is great because last year I had 4 or 5. The year before that I had 3. So I don't know, that seems cool to me, and I get to keep at least a couple prints of each of those. So that means, if you buy a box of Topps Museum Collection, you get 1 art reproduction card, 1 Canvas collection card. There are 50 total in the set, so they're pretty limited still. But anyway, I will have 9 in that 50 card set, I believe, unless maybe it's a different number. It was 50 last year, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's 50 again. So there's that. I felt pretty good about that. And the other news I have today, it goes back to something I was talking about on, I can't remember if it was on one of my videos or just when I did one of the artist hangout things and I was talking to other artists. But anyway, I drew 100 sketch cards for a set a couple years ago that had never been released. I was the only artist on the set, so I was pretty excited about that because of the exposure piece. But what happened is once I turned them in, the set didn't release, and the set didn't release, and then I found out that the company sold, or at least that subdivision of the company sold. And so every 6 months or so since then, I've contacted the guy who ran the company and just trying to see what's going on, and he keeps saying, the set will come out eventually, but things are coming up, so we're not sure when. I'll let you know. And then 6 months later, I try again, and no news. And so I found out today, once and for all, that what happened is the entire company has now sold, and the president of the company is now retired and out of the trading card business. So that's the bad news. That set will not be released. I in a way, it's a relief because now I can kind of quit keeping my hopes up that, oh, maybe someday it will. I mean, I've suspected all along. Like I said, it was over 2 years ago that I did these, so I've suspected all along that this set was just going to fold. And The other twist is they were not part of the sale, so that set won't be released under a new company. The the former president has them still, and so I was trying to work with him about like, well, how can I get them back? I don't know, to use as giveaways or something. I was like, man, I just don't want them sitting in some box to never be seen. That was kind of my thought, and he was like, I can sell them back to you for the full price I paid you, plus shipping, plus printing costs, plus, like, the point is, there's no way I can do that. So, that idea is out. He is going to keep them, I guess, and maybe someday they'll show up on eBay or something, I don't know. The good news out of all of that, I think, is, when you do artwork for a set, you're not supposed to show, usually, the way the companies work, you're not supposed to show the artwork until that set is released. And that's because of things like, well, what if a card doesn't get approved, or, like, to keep collectors interested, like, you don't want a spoiler of all the cards coming out unless it's, like, right before the set releases. Usually they're like, oh, a week before the set releases, go ahead, get people talking about the set and all of that. And at this point, now that I know that set will not be released, I just can't see that there would be any issue with showing them. And, like I said, the president of the company doesn't even have that company anymore. So I'm not going to worry about that, and I'm going to show the cards that I did. At the time I did them, I was pretty pumped. I was like, hey, this is some of my best work. I'm really excited to show them. Then I was super disappointed that I wasn't able to show them. Now that I'm looking back at them, I think my work has come a long way in the last couple of years. But at the same time, it still like feels like a big chunk of my work that should be shown. And I'm not saying that I'm disappointed with them either. I just looked at some of them, and it's like some of them turned out really great, I think, and some of them just are kind of mediocre, I guess. So anyway, I will be showing those in the coming days, weeks, month-ish. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm just kind of relieved that I finally get to stop worrying about that. I think anyway, that's probably about all you need to know about that. So, that's the good news, bad news, or I guess good news, depending on how you look at it. If I look at it the right way, it's good news on both accounts. So, I did do some medical drawing today, so I'm trying to keep that plugging away along with my sketch cards. And I did some brainstorming on what I'm going to do next month, or at least following my February 28 days later thing. Alright, that's a longer video than I thought I was going to do today. I guess that's okay. And I will catch all of you tomorrow with another update. Hopefully I will be greatly relieved having sent off the top set and ready to dive into whatever's next. Oh no, YouTube's gonna say, your video is shaky. We'll fix it. Click here. Bye.